So guys, patch 8.8 has finally hit and it is live to play on the servers from today. So in this video, I'm going to go through the patch notes and kind of give you guys the information and breakdown that you potentially need to take with you onto the Rift. There's quite a lot of changes in patch 8.8, so sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee and come with me for the ride. So guys, starting off with LeBlanc. One of the biggest changes in patch 8.8 is the fact that LeBlanc has been completely reverted back to the way she used to be. Her playstyle and her abilities have been completely changed to exactly the way they were before she got reworked or tweaked. And personally, I think this is awesome because LeBlanc was a lot more fun back then. You could do a lot more funner things, you know, with her R changing and so on. And I'm pretty sure SaveHD will be very, very happy about this. The famous Duke school and Dukes that he used to pull off back in the day. So I don't know how long you guys have been playing League of Legends for, and if you have been playing long enough to have experienced old LeBlanc, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So we'll work down her abilities and we'll kind of go through it step by step and explain what they do. So her passive, guys, is Mirror Image. Pretty much all this does is whenever she hits 40% health or below, she'll make a copy, kind of like a Shaco clone or Shaco clone, whatever way you want to pronounce it. And this does no damage, but it's an exact clone of her. So in team fights, this is amazing because it can absorb skill shots. People can use their ultimate on her and generally think that this is the real LeBlanc. So I think it's a really, really fun passive to have, especially in team fights. So moving down, her Q is Sigil of Malice, and it's pretty much just damage. It's a damage burst, and it says applies a mark to the target. Damaging the marked target with an ability detonates the mark to deal additional damage. So you can essentially use the Q and then your W. As long as you do damage after you've procced the Q, it's going to do additional damage. So you can go QQ with your ultimate, you can go QW or QE, but as long as you do Q first, it will mark it, allowing you to do extra damage when you use another ability. So W is her gap closer, guys, and it does damage as well. Use this to kind of juke people around, to kind of move around the map. It's really, really fun for escaping, for setting up some big plays. And again, you can move so crazy amount of distance with this, as well as your R. So you can go W and then your R to obviously move double the distance. And then again, you can pull off some crazy jukes with this. I'm looking forward to actually playing it again myself, guys. I'm a Heimer main, but old school LeBlanc was really, really fun. And it does quite a lot of damage as well. The base damage, 85, 125, 165. It's pretty damn hefty, guys. It's pretty damn hefty. And I'm looking forward to actually using this. It's so fun. And E is her ethereal chains, guys. And what happens is she shoots out chains. And if she's tethered to you long enough, you will eventually get snared or rooted to the ground. And it does damage as well. So moving on to her ultimate, guys, it is Mimic. And what Mimic is, as it says, it casts LeBlanc's most recently cast spell upon pressing R. So you can do the same spell twice. So you can go Q, W, and then disengage with your R because you just used W. You can say go and engage with your W, go Q, do your R again to get that double sigil proc. The possibilities are so crazy. It's going to be awesome seeing her back in solo queue, but also terrifying at the same time, guys. I can expect to see LeBlanc maybe on a top ban priority list coming very, very soon. But I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. This is a big, big, big change for patch 8.8. So guys, in this patch, Ahri has been changed quite a lot as well. Not as heftily as LeBlanc has, but she's definitely had some major changes. So we're going to go down her abilities. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions. This is completely fresh to me. I haven't played Ahri in the PvE. I haven't played her on the live server yet. So what I'm about to read is completely fresh to me. And I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion on what I think it's going to be like whenever it's live. So looking at her passive first, Fastein Grace. If Ahri earns 2 spell hits against an enemy champion within 1.5 second period, she gains 20% movement speed for 3 seconds. This is actually pretty good because obviously just like Lux and so on, Ahri is all about landing that charm and comboing it off with her Q. Or again, dashing around and trying to get those Foxfires to proc. So I think this is a really good passive for her to have. It's going to be pretty damn awesome in team fights, especially if there's no CC put on her at all. She's going to pop off, stun people, or charm people, and just wreck. So this is pretty spicy. It's pretty spicy, guys. Then moving down to Q, Orb of Deception. If Ahri earns 9 spell hits, max 3 per cast, she gains Essence Theft causing her Q cast that lands to restore. Okay, so it's a new way for her to kind of have her spell vamp, but I like the thought process put into it. It's pretty cool. Now moving down to your Foxfire. So the cost has been reduced to 40 mana. And it says it's new. Fox is cunning. Foxfire prioritizes any enemy champion affected by charms damage amplifying. Okay. And the target Ahri most recently basic attacked within the past 3 seconds. That's pretty good. Because I guess if she engages with her ultimate, then there's more of a chance of the Foxfire attacking enemy champions instead of, say, when she's dashing around, them attacking random minions. This is pretty good. And I know this. I read this before. Her charm is going to have a damage amplifier. So she's obviously going to engage with that E to get the 20% extra damage. And then a Q with her Foxfire. And she's going to start popping off with her Spirit Rush, her R. So you do not want to get hit by Ahri's charm, guys. Especially in the new patch. Obviously getting charmed by Ahri is never good. But nowadays, if she's going to get 20% extra damage, this is going to be pretty damn spicy, guys. Obviously they have reduced the base damage and the damage ratio to make sure it isn't super OP, but I still think that's pretty damn crazy. If she lands that followed by the rest of her combo, it's going to be insane. Then we can see Spirit Rush. Her base damage has been reduced by the Spirit Rush, but the damage ratio has been increased by 0.1, which is actually quite a lot in regards to the ability power scaling. But all in all, I think Ahri's going to be pretty ridiculous, guys. Right now, LeBlanc and Ahri, I can foresee it. They're going to be on my my top ban list for the mid lane. It was Anivia in the last patch, and it was Cassiopeia and Zed. But I can foresee these guys being ridiculously OP. And now, guys, we move on to Irelia. Irelia right now is insane when it comes to the late game. And Riot has actually realized this and done something about it. So the way they've tweaked her is that they've made her laning phase stronger, but her late game not as strong. It's still strong, but not ridiculously crazy hyper carry mode. Okay, so what they've done is her Q, her Blade Surge damage to minions has been increased by 10% from 60 to 70. Her base stats for her armor has been increased to 34 from 31. In turn, hopefully helping her laning phase because obviously she can do more damage to minions. Her E, Flawless Duet, to fix the bug, where it no longer credits Irelia for several minion kills with each cast, whatever. But the big change and the big nerf is to her R, Vanguard's Edge. Cooldown has been increased by 20 seconds at level 6, and then at level 11 it has been increased by 15, and then only by 10 at that final stage. Missile damage has been reduced overall, and wall damage has been reduced as well, quite significantly at that. And this should hopefully completely take away the insane snowball potential that Irelia has. If Irelia gets ahead early to mid, you need to finish the game before 20 minutes, guys, because she is going to carry the entirety of that team. And then Azir, guys, he has had a little tiny bit of a nerf to stop giving him so much control over the tempo of a lane. They've just changed his W, reduced the damage done to non-primary targets. And then we move down to Brom. Brom, he's too tanky, cannot do shit when he's so tanky. I like that. I like that they've added that in. Base stats, armor growth has been reduced, which is great. And his W, Stand Behind Me, has been nerfed. The resistances have been dropped quite significantly, but at early levels. At greater levels, it starts to kind of get okay again. But him being so tanky so early on is so annoying to lane against, so annoying to play against. It is crazy. So it's kind of good that they've changed Azir and Brom in a way which isn't going to make them unplayable, but going to make them a lot more manageable. That's probably a good word to use. And moving down to Galio, guys, he's had his ultimate nerfed. The cooldown has been increased to 200, 180, and 160 from 180, 150, 120. It's quite a big increase. 20 seconds is a long time when it comes to your ultimate. So maybe you'll see a lot more Galio players playing a lot more CDR to obviously counteract this. I don't know. And then we move down to Graves, guys. Graves has had a bit of a bestial buff. He has had his base stats increased, well, his health growth from 84 to 92. And his ultimate, guys, has been crazily buffed in regards to cooldown. So the cooldown has went from 120, 180 to 110, 85, and 60, making his ultimate only on a minute cooldown at max rank. That's obviously before you add in any kind of CDR which you might have built in there, which is pretty damn crazy. You're going to probably see a lot more Graves players nowadays, guys, in the jungle, and I for one welcome it because I like playing against squishy junglers myself. Please, no more tank meta, no more tank meta ever. And now, guys, moving on to Janna. Janna has had a little bit of a nerf as well, but I think they could have maybe nerfed her a little bit harder. Her base stats have changed. Her movement speed has been reduced from 320 to 315. Could have made that 310, but you know. And her W, her Zephyr damage has been reduced from 60 to 55, 105 to 100, and so obviously it's been reduced by 5. Again, they could have maybe reduced it a little bit more, but we'll see what it's actually like to play against, because personally, Janna is one of the most overpowered supports right now, or was anyway, as well as Lulu, and it's not fun to play against him. So we'll see if this nerf will make her a little bit easier to play against. And so, guys, moving on to Kaiser. Kaiser has been the most overpowered ADC in the entirety of patch 8.7, along with Ezreal, in my opinion. Both ADCs carry games pretty damn hard. Kaiser especially, usually when I'm in solo queue, I'm first pick, the ADC is begging me to pick Kaiser if she isn't banned, and for good reason, because she is insane. And the way they've tried to hopefully combat her being so overpowered is they've reduced her base health regen, they've reduced her health regen growth, and the damage on her Q. It hasn't, to me, looking at this, it doesn't look like the damage has been decreased significantly to make her unplayable and just bad. And they haven't changed her base stats to make her just ridiculously bad. Honestly, I think this could be a really, really good change there, a good nerf, a welcomed nerf. But we'll see. I'm not a Kaiser player, so I don't know, but it's kind of obvious to anyone who plays solo queue, platinum and above, that Kaiser is the #1 ban priority. Alright. Moving on to Lissandra, guys. Lissandra kind of actually isn't played that much anymore, so in order to combat this and make her play a little bit more, they have decreased the mana cost on her Q, and they have reduced the cooldown on her R. Not by a crazy amount, but maybe enough to kind of make some Lissandra mains start playing her again, or kind of start seeing her in the mix, because she does have a really, really strong kit, a lot of CC, a lot of slow, and a lot of damage output if she gets ahead early. So you could potentially see a few more Lissandras in the mid lane or top lane. And Nautilus in this patch has been buffed, guys. I honestly can't remember the last time I actually seen a Nautilus. It's always Thresh, it's Karma, it's Leona. I honestly haven't seen Nautilus in a very, very long time. Blitzcrank as well. Blitzcrank is pretty much picked every other game nowadays. So in order to kind of make him play a little bit more, his base mana has been increased quite a lot. His attack damage has been increased, and they have reduced the cooldown on his Q. So we might, again, just like Lissandra, start seeing a lot more Nautiluses in our ranked games. And then we move down to Ryze. Ryze has been nerfed a little tiny bit, and for good reason. Ryze is pretty strong early game right now, and specifically because of his E. So in order to combat this, they have increased the mana cost of his E from 40 to 60, 55 to 70, 70 to 80, 85 to 100, and so on. And this is pretty good, because obviously from early on, increasing his mana cost from 40 to 60 should have a significant impact on his laning phase and not make him an absolute sustain monster, because we know Ryze obviously gets an early Archangel Staff or a Tear the Goddess and so on, and him having quite low mana cost on his abilities is what makes him a bit of a monster early game. Moving on to Scion, guys. Scion is pretty much the most annoying top laner to play against right now if you are an AP top laner. As a Heimerdinger main, Scion is my #1 top lane ban, up there with Yaz. But for good reason. Scion has insane poke. It's ridiculous poke. Okay, so hopefully this change will make him start leveling up his Q instead of his E. So what they've done is they've changed the damage ratio and the full charge damage in regards to scaling levels instead of just flat. So this should make people want to level up his Q rather than just do 1 in his Q and then just focus leveling up his E constantly in order to obviously knock my turrets back, knock minions towards you. You guys have played against Comet Scion before. It is maybe the most tilting thing to play against. I have so many clips on my channel of me dying to random comets and random minions hitting me from the other side of the map. It's so annoying, guys. So hopefully this should bring him back down to size. And now, guys, we talk about Tahm Kench and his nerfs. His W, his Devour, it no longer gains him movement speed, which is pretty damn good because it was insane whenever he would just kidnap someone and run away. And his E, his Thick Skin, the percentage health that's restored over time has been reduced because really, Tahm Kench has been too tanky for far too goddamn long, guys. And next, guys, we have Talia. Talia's had her base stats changed in regards to health from 532 to 502, and she's had her Q cooldown increased at early levels because we all know how annoying it is to play against Talia, especially at level 1 through to 6, because she's just going to keep using Q over and over and over again as long as she's not near her worked earth, her ground, those little circles. And the damage is insane. It doesn't matter if she's Comet, Ahri, Electrocute. She's going to keep poking you down over and over and over again. And even the mana cost isn't that great. So I welcome these Talia nerfs, guys. Moving on to Varus. Varus has had his W on hit damage decreased. W now has an active which empowers Varus's next Q to deal bonus damage. But obviously with a little bit of give, there is always take, guys. So Varus has been pretty OP in patch 8.7 in my opinion. I'm not a Varus main, but I've been playing against quite a lot of Varuses lately. Varus, Kaiser, Ez. But in regards to kind of tone down his damage, they have reduced the attack speed bonus he would get whenever he kills a champion by 20% from 50 to 30. And they've changed the attack speed he gets from killing a minion from 25 to 15, which is a pretty big nerf. But I'm intrigued by the Blighted Quiver. They've reduced the damage quite significantly, but the new active is pretty crazy. Varus's next Q, Piercing Arrow, deals additional damage equal to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% of a target's missing HP. And the damage is increased by up to 50% based on the charge time of his Q. This is pretty crazy, guys. I don't know what way this is going to affect Varus, if it's going to really give him a bit of a nerf because of the passive change, or if this W active is going to be enough to kind of balance him out. We'll see. We'll see. So moving on to Vi, guys. Vi has been heftily buffed in this patch, and for good reason. Vi is one of those champions right now in the jungle, which she kind of does everything okay, but nothing exceptionally well. Zac and Sejuani are insanely tanky and a crazy CC. And then we have the dirty damage of Rengar and Kha'Zix. She's kind of this in-between champion right now, which really doesn't know her place. And hopefully with these buffs, we'll bring Vi back to the meta, back to the mix. So they've changed her base stats and her abilities in certain ways in order to hopefully make her a lot more meta. So her base stats have changed. Base armor has been decreased. Her armor growth has been increased, and her health regen and health regen growth has been increased. Her passive, her blast shield, has had its cooldown significantly reduced. Her Q has had its cooldown significantly reduced as well at early levels. And her E has had its mana cost reduced. So all over, Vi has been crazily buffed. So you're probably going to be seeing Vi and be seeing Graves a lot more in the jungle. And now, guys, we look at this really small Xayah nerfs. She has had her base stats reduced in regards to health regen, reduced from 6 to 5, and her passive clean cuts has been dialed down early game. Instead of just 50% always, it's 30%, 40%, and then 50% at levels 1, 7, 13. Just like it says, she's currently able to coast through your hard matchups and get to your strong mid and late game far too easily. So hopefully this should make that a lot more bearable. And then we look at Archangel Staff, guys. Mana to ability power conversion has been decreased. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Alright, so no longer will Cassiopeia's or Nivea's or Ryze players just rule the rest of mid lane because of Archangel Staff. Archangel Staff was just pretty damn far too OP. So like it says, Archangel Staff is spiking too early, so we're decreasing some of its ability scaling before it upgrades to Seraph's Embrace. Mana to ability power conversion has went from 3% to 1%, but it's unchanged on Seraph's Embrace. So while it's actually Archangel Staff itself, it will only be 1%, not 3%, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good, especially for me, someone who does not build the item. I love me some Ludens, guys. I love me a Ludens Echo. I'm not an Archangel's fanboy, even though I kind of being forced to become one there in patch 8.7, all has been right. And moving on to Lethal Tempo, guys. Lethal Tempo has had a pretty big buff. As it says here, Lethal Tempo isn't doing well on most champions, so we're increasing the strength of the effect from the attack speed 30 to 80% to 40 to 110% at levels 1 to 18. That could be a pretty hefty buff, guys. I can see Lethal Tempo becoming insane. Just like Conqueror, whenever Conqueror first came on board, it still is insane. Conqueror still is insane. Please change Conqueror. Right, alright. Lethal Tempo could be ridiculously OP. Alright, again, I don't play a lot of champions which use Lethal Tempo, but I can automatically understand how much of an increase this is. But then again, Riot does exactly what they want to do. It's not working well on a lot of champions, so they're increasing the strength of it. So this could easily become OP very, very fast on a lot of champions that I have in mind. And then Dark Harvest just has some bug fixes, thank goodness. Please don't make Dark Harvest any more OP than it is. And the last big change, guys, is Sweeping Lens. Sweeping Lens is no longer available in the store, and the reason being is that you can get Oracle from level 1. You no longer have to upgrade your Sweeping Lens to Oracle at level 9. You get Oracle from the get-go. That's if you want it. It's going to be pretty good for junglers, clearing wards and so on. I, for one, welcome this change. I don't really understand having to wait till level 9 to use it anyway. You should be able to use it from level 1. And I think this is going to be really, really, really good. This is a pretty good change for Riot. And it's going to be a big one. This patch itself, patch 8.8, there's been some big nerfs, some big buffs, some big tweaks, some big changes. It is going to be pretty fun, guys. And I'm afraid of some of the changes in regards to the buffs. But I welcome the tweaks and the balances Riot is implementing and the way they're actually kind of acknowledging some overpowered champions. That being said, I'm still waiting on my Heimerdinger buff. And I probably will be waiting until I die of old age. But until next time, bros, if you enjoyed the video, please slap a like on it below. It really, really helps me out. Take it easy. Peace out. And good luck on the Rift.